So let's discuss Raw. Could be bad. Just need to figure out really quickly where my live stream link is. I work this stuff out. Well, I guess it really doesn't matter. But anyway, let's discuss Raw. Starting with the goddamn Royal Rumble, which is shaping up so far to be interesting to say the least. Don't know what they're planning on doing, but I guess in the long run it really doesn't matter because it's either going to be good or it's going to be bad. And ultimately that's going to come down to the Rumble itself and the Universal title match between Owens and Roman. Because nobody wants Roman to win it, but at this rate, it really looks like that's what they're probably going to do. But between now and then, or even just after that, who's Roman going to drop the US title to? Because the amount of times, including today on Raw, they could have had him drop it, is freaking ridiculous. He could have dropped it to Jericho today with the ruling of the... if he gets DQ'd, he loses the belt, but nope, they didn't do that. It's almost like they're afraid of letting Roman lose that US title. And it was pretty much set up like this from the second that Roman won that US title, because who the hell is going to beat him? It's goddamn ridiculous, and Roman is just a very freaking awful wrestler, an awful performer, and just awful all around at his job. But I digress. The only way that Mania is going to be decent is if Owens walks in there still the Universal Champion, and the match comes down to him versus Balor or him versus Jericho. But I'm not actually 100% sure when Jericho's got his live tour for Fozzy coming up, because it's supposed to be happening again fairly soon. I'm just not sure when. But I'm not even sure if Jericho's here for Mania. But between now and then, we've got an Elimination Chamber, which would probably be the best place to drop the belt from Owens if they're going to set something else up. But I think it would be a very bad move for business if Owens drops that title between now and Mania, considering they could do the rematch for the NXT Championship between Owens and Balor. But I digress. And then we move on to the Royal Rumble itself. So far, we've got a few people in there, which is Lesnar. That man has a Superman tattoo. How can you take that son of a bitch seriously? He walks around with a goddamn Superman tattoo. He's like, yeah. And are we getting a cruiserweights in there too, like Kendrick or what? Or are they going to have their own Rumble, just like the women should? Because that'd be a very interesting concept to see like Asuka or someone come up from NXT to ultimately like win a female's Royal Rumble to become the #1 contender for WrestleMania against Bayley. Hopefully, because I'm pretty sure the way they're setting that up too is Bayley's going to either beat Charlotte's streak for the pay-per-view thing at at Royal Rumble, or she won't and Sasha's going to turn on her at Rumble, which either way could be a very interesting setup, because the Sasha and Bayley matches were goddamn amazing, especially that one at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn a couple years back. But yeah, so back to the Rumble thing. We've got Goldberg, Lesnar, Strowman, Jericho. That's all that's been announced for that so far. And then, I mean, let's be honest here. If Lesnar or Goldberg win that, missed opportunity, because I'm tipping what WWE is going to do is the rematch at WrestleMania between Lesnar and Goldberg. And I personally think that the winner of the Royal Rumble is going to be Finn Balor. He's almost due back from injury, and he's been appearing on some crap. It's almost like they're trying to be like, hey, don't forget this guy. He was the first ever Universal Champion. You know? And you're right, he was the first Universal Champion. And he would have been the goddamn best Universal Champion they had, except for the fact that he can't really talk. And he's boring. And, I mean, we haven't even mentioned the fact that we should be getting Ty Dillinger in the Rumble. It's going to be probably him debuting in there at number 10, because he's the perfect 10. And Joe should be appearing in the Rumble, and if they don't debut Joe at the Rumble, it's another missed opportunity. And, yeah. So my personal money is on friggin' Balor at the Rumble, or... Yeah, actually, I'm just going to stick with Balor. Balor should win the Rumble this year. Returning from injury, and then, yeah, hopefully getting a new, few debuts in there from NXT, too. Like Joe and Dillinger. The perfect 10 at number 10, and maybe Joe towards the back of it. Or even, hey, just, debut him in there at number 3 like he did for Styles last year, and have him go in there, with friggin' Lesnar and Goldberg. I could believe that big guy chilling out in there with those two legends, even though, one of them just suplex, and the other one's, apparently got one badass spear left in him, which we haven't seen since the second he came back. But, at this point in time... Yeah, that's pretty much all we got for the Rumble. I mean, except for the thing there between Styles and Cena. And if they put the belt on Cena here, which they may do, I reckon it's another missed opportunity. Friggin' Styles should be champion until Mania, and then I don't know who you would give the belt to at Mania if he's going to lose it. But definitely not Cena. But he's probably going to tie Flair, and if that's the case, it's just going to be a piece of crap between now and then. Cena doesn't need to tie Flair. Let the old man Flair... keep his record. He needs that record. Actually, no, he doesn't need that record. That makes him sound like he's useless without that record. But he needs that record because, it goes to show him as being pretty much the best of all time. I mean, Cena is not Ric Flair. And I reckon it'd be a disgrace to Flair if they just gave Cena that opportunity as well. I mean, by the time Cena retires, if that's the case, he's probably going to be a 27-time world champion, which is ridiculous. But I digress. Anyway, with that, I'm out. So, thank you for watching me discuss things for the Royal Rumble, or at least a very short recap of things that happened on this week's Raw, such as the debut of the Kevin Owens show and some other things.